All right, here we are, 2012 Chevy Volt, and this is the battery compartment. You've got four 10mm studs that attach the bottom tray. Once those 10mm nuts are backed off, this is what's exposed. So the next move is to remove the battery and replace it with one that's meant for it, bought from my local dealership. All right, what I've got here is a 10mm nut, much like the nuts that were attaching the storage space around it. So I'll use the same tool to back that off of there, and I'll get that nut a little bit later. What I'm going to do is try to remove the neutral first. Now the car is effectively off, and in order to keep this from touching anything else, I'm going to wrap it in a rag, just because I feel like I'm the safest when this is not going to touch anything else. A great time to run out of tape. But it's a good time to have some ready. So, back to wrapping this. Also help me push it out of the way. And tape it out of the way. All right, good, it's out of the way. All right, so the next move here is to loosen this fusible link and then put that off to a safe place. Hopefully it'll let me. Making sure not to touch anything metal on the car. All right, it didn't let the nut come off. And we're going to take this whole fusible link and attachment all at once, hopefully. Well, that battery is disconnected. All right, next to take off this fusible link, there's a little tab along the underside. I'm going to just pull on that, and the hard to reach one is on the back end of the car. Not too sure I'll be able to get it. Okay, it came off. Now we just want to push this out of our way. It's nice that it's got a little cover. This little roll of tape will work out just fine. Next, we want to reach this bolt down here, and I'll get what looks like maybe a 14mm on an extension, and we'll back that off. All right, so I found out that it's a 13mm socket we needed, and you got to have an extension. Otherwise, you're never going to get that wrench in there to turn it. And once this is loosened up, we'll take the hold down strap off carefully. Pull it out. Everything down here really is professionally put together. Just leave that there. This is where the duct tape would come in handy to hold it up there. That here, hopefully I won't lose it. Now there's a little plastic spacer block that you don't want to misplace. So we're going to take that duct tape again. Handyman secret weapon, if I remember what they call that. Pull this up out of the way. Trying to get it on stuck to too many things. And the battery is mine. Oh, I take that back. Forgot to tell you about the vent hose. All these batteries that are inside of vehicles are going to have a vent hose. You want to take that off, and you can pull the battery out. Now when the battery is doing its thing, getting hot and cold and charged and discharged, it's going to produce some minor vapors, and those minor vapors need to go somewhere besides your lungs. That's what that's for. If you'll notice, it's vented right out the bottom of the car. I'll go get our new battery. All right, I've dropped my new battery in. Chevy says there's a different part number here, so allow it. We're gonna allow it. We're gonna plug in our ventilation hose to the side, and on the positive cover to the battery, they gave us a little plug because they give you options. All right, so one thing we need to do, put this bolt attachment underneath here. I just wanted to show you the battery letters and numbers so that you could see that the one inside your Volt may be just a little bit different. Alright, bolt that nice and tight. Okay, now we're always going to do our negative terminal last, and we're going to do our positive first. So just like before, we slid this, grabs a hold of the side of the battery in here, we hope, and then snaps down over. Being a different battery number, watch that have a problem now. The shape of the battery looks pretty similar, so I'm not anticipating a problem. There, that sounds like it snapped, but it doesn't want to go to the right as much as I want it to. Okay, so by pressing down on that, it should hold it all in place. It's a little bit off. It's just about another 1/4 inch to the left further than it used to be. Comparing old and new, very similar, but I'm sure you're going to have little differences that you're going to have to work around when they change battery types. I can feel a piece of plastic here. It just won't let it go to the right anymore. Alright, so not touching the metal of the car, hoping this gets down on it. Cut. Taking a small wooden block, tapping that on. Seems to be the next best course of action. Alright, it looks like it's all the way on. We'll tighten that up with our 10mm ratchet. Alright, that clutch was on 16. It's always a good idea to get a feel for it with your hand. So I'm going to get a small ratchet and make sure that feels right. First thing I want to do is have that too loose, especially as buried as deep in the trunk as this thing is. Alright, that feels right. There's our fusible links. As you can tell, we've got a 50 amp, 150, 80, 80, 80, 80 amp fusible links. Alright, so that snaps down to cover your positive terminal so no one gets hurt. And now let's do the neutral. to complete our circuit. Hopefully we won't have too many sparks. Okay, now before I grab my nut, hit stop. All right, I picked up my drop nut. Put this back on to secure it from coming off. It's probably a good idea to make sure it's all the way on. Gently tap the clamp back all the way down with a wood block. It's nice and easy on things. All right, we're in forward motion. Okay, a little bit of resistance, so we'll have to go around. All right, so we're bolted down in 2 places, and this will make the 3rd one. The battery's probably going through its systems checks. Now, always remember, if you have to jump your volt and you're freshly powered up and you're thinking to yourself, why won't this car turn on? It's because the Volts have a system check that they have to go through. Now I'm going to note that it's 5 minutes to 11 in the morning, and at about 11:15 I'll be able to try to start the vehicle. The vehicle will not start without running through its systems checks. So there's no point in even attempting. I guess the next move would be to put this tray back in, and maybe I can show you a little bit about that. Since we have a little time before we can really tell if they're up. But I like the fact that the little dome light to my left is on. That's a good sign. It means we've got current to the system. So I just have to find those 4 studs. The right side fell right in. The left side is off. Sometimes by picking up the right side, left side falls in. There we go. There's 4. All right. So now I gotta ask myself, do I wait 20 minutes in case there's a problem? Or do I put these 4 bolts in? And I think I'm just gonna wait 20 minutes to make sure everything works just fine before I go any further. Last thing I need to do is backtrack. One thing I want to stress about when you're putting this storage compartment back together is these 2 battery terminal access points, which it's nice to see there's no corrosion in there. It's important to make sure there's no corrosion when you put it back. Being it's inside the cabin probably helps. I had a real hard time getting this positive terminal up where it should go. If you remember, we had this under plastic was pushed over 1/4 of an inch more than it really should be because of this different style of battery. And you know, a screwdriver will still allow me to get, oh yay, even better. So now it's going to be a little bit of a hassle to try and get this up and down, but as long as you know, you're not the only one. All right, so we put our 4 nuts on finger tight, and then I set my clutch here at 9. Fastest way I know to get a 10mm nut back where it belongs. All right, that's all set, and the old wheel nuts can get thrown away. No one steals tires anymore. All right, so we're going to grab our cover. And the cover has Velcro on the far end. It has, here, shoot this. All right, these are going to rest up front, and these are going to be your latching right here into these grooves. So we're going to put this back in. Try to get the Velcro side up. Okay, Velcro. Yes, this side down first. All kinds of fun. I'm thinking this side's the best angle to reach it because this Velcro wants to fight. Okay, that's where you want that. You can put this here, I think. And this side just needs to go clunk. That's it, pair of clunks. And just put this, all the volts should come with this 110 charging system that you'll want to put back. Alright, and it should have a can of tire sealant in there, but summer temperatures sometimes make those rupture, so you have to watch for that. Okay. Something's sticking up, but no, it's alright. Alright, then bring the seats back up. And sneak back over here to the driver's side. Come over here, Nick, unless you can see better back there. Alright, so I've waited my 20 minutes. My dashboard looks like this now, but prior to that 20 minutes, there was just a dark screen and nothing really would allow my attention. So I just press on the brake, press my power button, and the vehicle fires right back up. It just tells me I have one vehicle message, and that is that the trunk's open. So everything seems to work really good. So empower yourself and give it a try. This battery is 6.5 years old. That's why I saw reason to change it, because an AGM battery is good for 8 to 10 years. But the last thing you want to do is be stuck with a dead battery. So maybe you could use it somewhere else like we are with our pop-up camper. All right, thank you, and enjoy.